Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Bricks King podcast, where I'm going to bend your ear about Lego, review those amazing bricks of plastic, and discuss what is new and up and coming on the Lego world. I'm your Minifigure ghost, Matt. Let's build on it. Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing? Episode 211 today, not 411 or 911 or 811. Or is there any other 11 behind that? Anyway. So today's episode, we're going to talk about a set that is coming your way soon, fast, furious. You need to know because it is right around the corner. The set I'm talking about today is the Santa's Front Yard set. I previewed this in News on the Twos, and today we're going to talk about it. This thing has 317 pieces. It's actually it's okay for its size. Anyway, 40484 is the set number. Now, this is a GWP. If you don't know what GWP means, it means gift with purchase. If you're new to the show, welcome. I appreciate you being here. With that in mind, the threshold to be able to pick this thing up is quite extensive. We've seen things in the month of December with the Hans Christian Andersen book, with the what was the one last year? I can't quite remember. We had another book. We have had other things as well. We've had the Christmas tree and many things before that. I don't ever remember this price threshold being so excessive. Might be the best word to describe this because it is way out there. How can you justify spending 170 bucks, 170 euros, 170 pounds in November on a specific time frame? Now, I know there are new things coming out. We know the new UCS AT is coming out. Great. There are other things that are coming out. Currently, if you are looking for, holiday type stuff, the Home Alone set, out of stock. The Winter Village, out of stock. Okay, I can't really find anything that really fits my current need for the theme, the thematic time of year, the enjoyable experience that I get for this time of year. Okay, fine. So what else is out there? If you're buying for somebody, you obviously know. You're like, okay, this 7-year-old likes Lego City, or this 12-year-old likes Ninjago, or likes Friends, there's so many different things. I understand that. Those items are going to start going quick. And here's what you need to think about in your buying decisions. We will have our buying episode coming up in the following week, but here's what you need to think about. Things go fast in the world of retail. Things go super fast at this current time of year. And sometimes Lego's website is not the best place to go get things. You might see a flash deal on Amazon or Target or Walmart or Smith's or Smites, however you say it. You might find the more big box type retail stores having flash sales where a $30 set is $15. Well, that's an easy sell. I'm done. It's game over. Good night. I'm taking it. I'm running. And this is the time of the year where if you have been reluctant to purchase certain Lego sets, I would say anything above maybe 70, 75, you're probably not going to get a deal on. You might get a small portion, but probably not that much if you're lucky. Anything below that, yeah, you're pretty good. Anything below 50, yeah, you're rocking and rolling. You just need to keep your ear to the ground and see what's coming. So with that in mind, it's that time of the year. And we talk about the $170 price point to be able to get this, to secure this. It's like, how? Why? Okay, let's say the Winter Village was in stock. That's $100 USD, euros as well. Let's say Santa and his reindeer. That's what, $35. That's still not reaching the threshold. Okay, what else can I buy? Maybe there's other things that I want or somebody else wants. Okay, I got to spend another $35 minimum to be able to get to that point. That's a big point. I remember when the Christmas tree and the Hans Christian Andersen book was 100, solid, 100. Now we're at 170. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So let's talk about the set. Well, before we talk about the set, obviously, when can you get it? November 20th and 21st. That is this upcoming weekend. And then also the quote unquote Black Friday weekend, holiday weekend from November 26th through the 29th, which I will be out of pocket for most of that sale time. Anyway, let's talk about the build. I do love the build. Is it worth $170? We'll talk about it at the end. So what you have here, like I said, you have a 300 plus piece build. It looks really nice. You have a lot of the dark blue that is on the background, a lot of 1x4s, 1x2s, 1x6s, and then 1x1s with the a stud on the front to be able to make things look a little bit pretty. I'm assuming that is supposed to be snow that is falling, the 1x1 round plates that they are using around the Christmas trees. The Christmas tree builds are really nice against the backdrop. You do have a sticker that is supposed to be of the moon on a 2x2 round tile. That does work for me. You also have some stickers that go across the top along as well that show the starry skyline, which is okay, but they are duplicated, so they do look repetitive. The Christmas trees that you get just in front of the backdrop build are actually pretty decent as far as builds go. They do have a lot of the cheese slope pieces on here with the green and the white. Very simple builds, nothing super complex or anything like that, but they are pretty much mirror images, just the scale is different. I don't have a problem with them. I think they turned out pretty well. You get some of the white and some of the green. You get a color palette that is mixed here. You get some depth that is put into this build if you are looking at it from the front. In my opinion, I hope LEGO does more of these type of vignette style builds in the future for holiday type themes, because if you could put a bunch of them, let's say in 10 years, you get one every single year, you put them next to each other, it's actually going to be a pretty neat thing. Now, there are no pegs or anything like that. There are no Lego bricks with Technic pin receiving holes in it. There are no 1x2 bricks, Technic bricks that have a hole in it. So, but that is something maybe in the future that could be adjusted, because they do just use a 1x2 light bluish gray brick in the bottom. That could be something maybe Lego's like, you know what, we could do that. So moving forward into this thing, you do have some landscape that is built up as well. You start on a few plates on the bottom, and then you slowly build this up from the front to the back, where you are increasing depth and such. And what I really like is there is this little creek that runs through here. It is supposed to be frozen based on the 1x2 tiles, the translucent clearish bluish tile pieces here. I do like that. We do get that nice lovely kind of, it's not wintergreen, it's more like so I'm a gum person, I'm gonna call it a polar ice blue here. It's that really light, super duper light blue that almost kind of has a greenish tinge to it. They use that frequently throughout this set to add some depth, add some color. They use some cheese slopes here and some quarter round tiles that also in that color that add some depth. Prior to getting to the reindeer and the elf, because they are the focal points of this build, you do have a nice little build here that is supposed to be like a log, I guess, or a tree that, got chopped down just in front or just to the rear of the reindeer. And that uses the rounded tile of the tree-ish log print. When you cut a tree, you can see the rings and stuff. So it uses that. That's fine. I don't have a big issue with that. The reindeer build, it's brick built. I actually like the way this reindeer looks. They use some interesting pieces to be able to get the antlers. I'm still not quite seeing the antlers the way that I would like. I see like a 6-point deer here. I'd prefer an 8 or a 10, but I can't complain too much. The mouth does not open. It actually does look like a mouth, though. You get the googly eye type pieces that they use for eyes for so many different builds. There is a sticker on here as well for the back end to get the coloring of the white. I'm assuming this is a white-tailed deer or something similar to be able to get the spots that are on the backside. It's kind of a fat deer here. You know what? I'm going to say this. You know what would have sold this even better comically? Would have been to take one of the ice cream pieces, the blobby type ice cream pieces, not the swirly ones, the blobby ones, and stick it down below and make it like he turded on the ground because he's a reindeer, and reindeer always drop turds as they do their thing. Like, come on. That would have been a great comical element. We're talking about the holiday season. We're talking about holiday movies. Yes, it's all, oh, Santa, oh, family, oh, this. Are we forgetting about Christmas Vacation, the movie? Hello? Silly, crazy, wild. I like that kind of stuff. That would have really done it for me, especially in the way that they have his tail oriented. It's not straight down. It's not straight out. It's not up. It is at just above, maybe it's more like a 60-degree angle. And what is funny is, to me, I'm like, having animals, an animal that is lifting their tail at a certain angle, they're getting ready to drop something. That's what I think of when I see this reindeer. I'm like, he's getting ready to drop it. What is it going to be? Here it comes. We already know what it is. We don't need to guess. Excrement, right? Anyway, I like the reindeer. I think it's funny looking in the sense of what it is. That would have been perfect for me. It would have sold me even better. Some people are like, how despicable and disgusting. I disagree. So just beyond his tail, on the very far left of the build, towards the front, 2 studs back, you have a pole that is built here of a few elements, and then you have a Nexo Knights shield that has a sticker on it that says North Pole. It has some snow on it. It doesn't quite look that good because obviously the snow looks like snow on top of the lettering of the North Pole, but then you have brown sticking above it because of the angling of the Nexo Knights shield, which I'm like, come on, y'all. Let's get this fixed. We can do this. We can make this better. Yeah, we can do it. I have a new accent, if you didn't know. Anyway, so the minifig that comes with this, you get a nice little elf minifig that comes with this. He comes with a lantern. He comes with a carrot, obviously a carrot. Why not? He is feeding a reindeer. He has a smiley face, and then he has a more kind of concerned face where his mouth is kind of, I don't know what's going to happen on the one side. I do like what he has to offer here as far as his print. He does have the mini legs with the red. They are red. And then you also have the green torso, which is printed. You have some jingle bells that are printed on the torso. And the jingle bells actually look like jingle bells on this torso, which I'm actually surprised that they managed to get that. He has a black belt with a gold buckle that goes the whole way around. Again, no printing on the sides between where the arms are and such. That would have been awesome. I don't know how Lego can do that, but let's hope that is a possibility in the future. So he also does come with his little elf ear hat. So where he is wearing his hat, he's got the little elf ears that are dual molded into it. The problem I have is both of these faces show the bottom of the mouth. You can see the bottom end of the smiley face and the left side, if you're looking at it from the rear, in this case, of the kind of concerned faced mouth. That is a problem for me. We have talked about this before. This is not anything new. You either need to extend the molds to make it look better, or you need to provide new faces. Extending the mold, what is that going to set you back? 50 cents? A couple Pfennig? Not much. Let's get it done. Because when we talk about this, and I talked about the Fab 5 loft, what do we run into there? I'll let the designers know. I let the team know. Like, I can see this dude's beard down below. It's weird looking. This is weird looking. This is a quality control issue to a certain degree, right? You're not hitting on everything that you need to. That needs fixed. Aside from that, it is a cool little build. I do like the way that the build is put together. I think it is something fun. I think it's something exciting as far as the holiday season goes. But here's my deep pause. Deep pause, right? Deep pause. It's not worth $170. You're going to spend $170. This GWP does not reach that threshold. There have been many others. The Christmas tree that I can think of that had the train running around the bottom of it was much better than what this is. Well, that's 317 pieces. They're tiny pieces. One by one bricks. Not bricks, plates. You have tiles. You have, you've got cheese slope pieces. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of small things that go into this. I'm really not happy about this, the price point on this. Now, I know there are things where, they're like, we're going to do this. It's going to cost this much. I would like to know, where did this price point come from? This is super excessive. I know how, to a certain degree, how things work on the inside, and they say, okay, we've got a wave of sets. So take Lego City, for instance. We've got a wave of, let's say, 5 sets. We've got one at this price point, the whole way up to 120, whatever. Maybe there's 10 of them, whatever. My point is, they already know that ahead of time. So then the designers are trying to work within those constraints to be able to accomplish what they want and what they need to justify that price. That is purchasing something. If I saw this on the shelf, I wouldn't pay more than $20 for it. That's it. That's it. There's not enough here. There's a buildable reindeer. Fine. There are plenty of reindeer in the Lego catalog. Harry Potter, Winter Village, the new set this year with the Santa and the reindeer. Done. The Brick Build, it feels very 3-in-1 creator. That's how this set kind of comes across. 3-in-1 creator, but you get a minifig. So what needs to be done? Those of you that are going to go spend your pennies, you're going to spend your pennies, you're going to be able to get it. Absolutely you are. In my opinion, there is no earthly way this thing is worth that much. I'd love to know, between man hours, the price of this thing, and then going to, a GWP, which is a version of retail. We're going to send these out. It's going to be great. They're going to love these. It's holiday. It has decent build characteristics. It does have a minifig. It ain't worth 170. If you put it at 120, maybe 130, I'd say, yeah, probably. Yeah, let's do it. But the fact that you can't get it with the Winter Village and then the other holiday set or something else is a problem for me. This is a holiday themed gift with purchase. It should go hand in hand with what you are selling at that point in time. Your Winter Village is $100. Okay, the Home Alone house, what, $250? Fine. That's out of stock. It'll probably be out of stock or in and out of stock for the next, 4 months, 3 months, until people get their hands on it, and then it becomes cold. It becomes something of the past. So for me, as much as I like the set for what the set is, whoever chose this price point, you must be tripping. I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what metrics or analytics you are taking into account here. There is no way. And I've heard from a lot of people after that News on Tuesday episode that said, I'm not doing that. I'm not spending that much money to be able to get that. And that brings me to my next point here. And then we'll wrap up the show. A set like this, at this price point, ultimately ends up where? It ends up on the secondhand market. Bricklink, eBay, Mercury, however you want to call it. It ends up on one of those where it was supposed to be a gift with purchase becomes a purchase. And you might spend 50 or 70 or maybe $100. I don't know. But I know how these type of things work in the aftermarket. They are jumped through the roof exponentially as far as their value. You're like, oh my God, I have to have this. I have had this one for the last 15 years. I need this one. Then you're better off spending your $170, right? And getting something else. You're getting VIP points. You're getting double VIP during this time as well. So maybe that is a consideration that Lego took into place. Okay, they're getting double VIP and they're also getting this. If that is the case, that's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of stupid in my opinion. Here, we're going to give this to you if you spend this price point, but it's double VIP weekend, so it's really only worth $70, but, or it's really only worth, not 70, that would put me at 140. That'd be really nice if it were 70. But, we're going to put this thing out there that is only worth, 80 on an average, 85-ish on an average. But it's double VIP, so boom, that jumps up the price point. Why? Like, these are the questions that I thought about, that went through my head, that I had discussions with myself about, like, how could this be? How could they justify this? Okay, I see how they could do this. I could see how they could do that. Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. No one's going to want to buy this. And I will tell you this. I will be curious, and you will know you will know how many of these they sold throughout the next year. And here's why. If it does really poorly, you will see them as a GWP or for regular sale in the future. It's happened before. It'll happen again. They create too many, thinking the demand is going to be so high, but they price it wrong, and they have all these left over that they have to get rid of. They have to dump them some way, shape, or form. And the best way to do it is like, here, you can either, spend points on it in the VIP reward center. We're going to put it up again for a VIP promotion, GWP, but you only have to pay this much. There are ways that they do this stuff. They try to offload this stuff. If this is something you're like, I have to have it, then I suggest you go get it now or when it becomes available. If you're like, you know what, that's kind of neat. I'm not paying that much money for Lego that I may or may not need or may not want at this point in time at a certain price point. Because again, like I said, sales. Everything is going on sale right now. Maybe you wait. And my guess from what I have seen in the past with certain GWPs, I foresee this thing being an item that is around in the future. I cannot see this thing selling out, completely gone, no GWP left. Like, I just don't see it. You're going to have your Star Wars people that buy up the Star Wars stock. That's going to be over in about 30 seconds of the new AT-AT. I already told you the winter sets, the holiday sets are gone. So what else is there? Oh, well, I didn't get the modular from last year in January. All right. Okay. You meet the threshold. There are other things that you can do. Absolutely. Maybe you're like, you know what? I've been saving. I've been waiting for this opportunity to be able to purchase this for myself, a significant other, or somebody else. Great. But it all comes back to the point, I don't see it as 170. I see it more of like, okay, $100 threshold. Cool. We're done. 300 pieces. Awesome. And I appreciate the gift with purchase type things. And having discussed that with the lead designer back in May, I think they do a pretty good job with that stuff. But are you going to be missing out if you didn't get this? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything you're like, oh my God, it's an elf. I've got to have another elf. How many elves have you had? Dozens by this point in time. It's not a regular reindeer. It's a bunch of bricks, a bunch of plates. And I'm not deterring you. I'm just trying to walk through this logically. I don't understand where the $170 price point is. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I've become fixated on it ever since I found out. And then I built it and I'm like, where? Hans Christian Andersen book had way more to it. Depth. It had, I think, one minifig, maybe two. It just felt different. It's a vignette. If this is what they're going for in the future, great, this is the beginning. But you need to let people know that, because collectors do what? They collect from the beginning. If you are a collector of Funko Pops, you fool. Good luck. You're collecting from here to here to here to here the whole way to the end. If you're a collector of certain collectible minifigs, you started at a certain point. Maybe you started at Series 5. You're like, I got to go back. I got to get the rest up to currently where we are. That's what collectors do. And if that is the case, if that is what this is going to, is if this is something where Lego's like, we're going to do vignettes every year during the holiday season, this is what we want to do, this is a really cool idea, I think you should. But you need to let your people know, hands down. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I didn't mean to get on too much of a tangent and bash or anything like that. It just comes down to cents and dollar cents and spending cents. And for me, the spending sense isn't quite there. Obviously, if you're going to be buying something in the Lego shop, whether it be in person or on the Lego Shop at Home website, you're going to be able to pick up this type of product as long as it is currently available. So just keep that in mind. But then also realize, like, man, 170? If you aren't a big fan of that, let them know. Email them. Reach out to them. Say, hey, what were y'all thinking? Why 170? This is asinine. How did this even happen? So with that in mind, let's get out of here. I'm your minifig host, Matt. Let's build on it.